enough to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You'll never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts, just beware of.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. I wanted to talk today about somebody asked me to redo the video I had done about different people I met from different areas in Missouri, and really what they said was that they wanted me to mention other places than what I already did. So let's get into this. If you're new, subscribe and share this. I told you about Kevin Hoppy being from St. Louis. I think I might have mentioned Boz from Bosnia, but what I didn't mention was the conversation those two had. You know, Boz was new to St. Louis, so he knew a lot of the changes and stuff happening there. Kevin hadn't been there since '86. So they was talking, and Boz told him that outside of Bosnia, St. Louis had the highest Bosnia population. He also told him that the streets had Bosnian names, and that really didn't sit well with Kevin. But I met other people from St. Louis, good people. When I say good, I meant I was able to get along with them, work out with them. You know, like I think I mentioned Ray Marciniak, that was my workout partner. Had real strong legs, couldn't figure out why nobody else couldn't squat what he could squat, you know. I said, well, why can't you do as many pull-ups as I can, you know? You meet all these different people and they have weird ways of thinking. But that doesn't make them bad people. Like the person I met from Colombia. I'm only mentioning this guy because nothing significant happened. But he's from Colombia. People told me to mention other places. So Colombia is one of, he's the one that came to mind. There was probably other people from Colombia. This is the only one I can remember because he ate a lot, which is nothing wrong with that. If you can eat a lot in prison, you got a lot of canteen, that's good. You know, good for you. But he didn't do nothing else. He'd sit around all day. And he talked a lot. And once he got talking to you, he wouldn't stop. Boz was kind of the same way. And people from Springfield, which when I first got to Licking, there was a lot of them because that's like the closest prison to, max prison to Springfield. And a lot of them had 417 tattooed on them. And they tried to get me to put that on me. I said, I'm not from the 417, you know. They said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Rolla, Missouri, Phelps County. Which brings me to another point in a minute. They said, well, you need to get 563 then. I said, no, I don't. You know, it's kind of like tattooing your inmate number on you. You know why? The inmate number is ingrained on me. But somebody mentioned one time, you know, they say you from Rolla, Phelps County, you know, you're not. And they're right. I went to school in Newburgh, Missouri. And lived south of Newburgh, about 12 miles. But the reason I say Rolla is, one, that's where they held me at in jail. And two, if I say Rolla, people are more likely to know where I'm talking about than if I say Newburgh. Newburgh is like 700 people at the most. Rolla is a college town. And people are more apt to, oh, I know who you're talking about. I met people from Kansas City. There was a Mexican once that when I was in the hole, I helped him with writing letters to this person because he didn't know English, so I had to write letters in English to this girl for him. And when I got out, a few months later, I got into it with this group of people, organization, whatever you want to call it. And this Mexican and his friends pulled up, Latinos, and they said, we got your back. And after this was all over, I asked him when I got the chance, I said, why'd you help me? He said, man, you in the hole, you helped me with the letters, you know. And I really appreciate that. I said, well, I don't mind helping people. And I said, also, it helped pass the time, you know. Another guy from Kansas City, he felt real bad for what he done. He was drunk and he had a truck, and there was a girl in the back, the bed of the truck, and got knocked out of the truck, and it killed her. And he almost couldn't live with himself. So he told the judge to give him the maximum sentence he possibly could, and the judge did. But I met other people from Kansas City too. I can't offhand right now remember all their names. But this guy was from, I think he said, northeast Kansas City. And when he was telling me this, at the time he was telling me this, he said he thinks his mom was the only white person now living there because there's no more whites there and it was all Mexican. If that's the same, I'm just going by what he said. I met a couple people from Jefferson City. Sometimes, a lot of times, people in Missouri, they say Jeff City instead of Jefferson City. So if you ever hear me say Jeff City, excuse me, I'm talking about Jefferson City, the capital of Missouri. I met a person from Hannibal, Missouri before. Let's see, the Boot Hill. There was a guy named Boot Hill that was from the Boot Hill. The Boot Hill is southeast Missouri. It's like that little, what kind of looks like a boot hill. And in Algoa, when I finally got down to Algoa, I met a couple guys that were friends, and they was from Stone County, Missouri. And they hung around with a guy from Taney County. I think Taney County is right next to Stone County, if I remember correctly. One person was from Branson. Oh, they had me take this program, and we had to pair up in there and we find out what we had in common. So they paired me up with this black guy, and he goes, well, let's get this started. He goes, I'm from a small town. I said, I am too. He goes, how many people your town got in? I said, probably about 700. He goes, yeah, that's a small town. He goes, that's not even a town. I said, well, what town are you from? He goes, Springfield. I said, it's not a town, it's a city. Met a guy from Joplin. A young kid, called himself Joplin Honky. And there was a few people from Joplin and from that area. And a guy tells me one time, says, go over to Joplin, because we just called him Joplin for short. He goes, tell me he's from Webb City. So I went over and I said, I heard you're from Webb City. He goes, I'm not from Webb City. Well, he got mad. So I went back and told this guy, I said, man, what do you have me do? You know, he goes, well, he said, Webb City and Joplin are pretty much connected. And he goes, you really can't tell from when you cross from Joplin into Webb City. The only thing it's like a border is the railroad tracks. And he said, but some people from Joplin sometimes they get upset if you can say they're from Webb City. I met a guy from Neosho, and actually a couple of them actually, but they was in two different places, but they was fall partners. And this guy's name was Joker. I believe he was from Neosho. Him and another guy and the other guy's sister beat a guy to death with a hammer because the girl was raped, or some girl was raped or something by this old man, so they beat him to death with a hammer. Let's see. I met a guy a couple guys that was down close from where I was from, but I didn't know him. And then also when I got to Algo, I met people from my hometown. A lot of them knew me, they knew my brother. But a lot of them had been born after I went to prison. So they didn't know me, but they knew my brother and my family and everything, you know. And so it was really nice getting to see them, and they was kind of, for some reason, kind of excited about seeing me. I ain't quite figured that one out. But there was one guy there, he said, man, the last time I saw you, I was 11 years old. I said, yeah. I said, I was around 17. I got arrested when I was 17. I said, you was a young kid. But I didn't know who he was. He kept looking at me in the weight room, you know, just staring at me. He had this beard and everything. I thought, man, this guy, do I have problems with this guy? So all of a sudden, he runs up on me. And I mean, I drew back. I said, gee, better take a couple steps back. He goes, I know who you are. I said, I don't know who you are, and tell me what this is about. And so then he told me. And I said, oh man, you know, it's good to see you and everything. Not quite under these circumstances, but I said, man, don't ever run up on somebody like that. He goes, man, I'm excited, man. He goes, me and your brother, you know, we're good friends and everything. And that's like a month or a couple months before my brother died too, you know. So if you guys have any questions about wanting me to see if I knew people from other cities or other towns, whatever, let me know, you know. You can even ask me if I know certain people, you know, drop me some names or something. I'll see if I know them or not. Sometimes I'm good at names, sometimes I'm not. But I usually never forget a face. It's the names sometimes I have a hard time with. But if I've known them for a while, I'll know who you're talking about. So, that's all I got for you now. Thank you for watching. And I hope this one's detailed enough. And, bye.